Alright, welcome to part 4 of the video, where I have already gone ahead and done pretty much all the modifications I've needed to do to the case. You can see down here we've got 2 new holes, including the little screw holes for the bottom radiator that'll be mounting in this case, which is not supposed to be there by default. That's a better look of it right there. You can also see that I made the 2 holes for the pass-through fittings to go through, so now I can pass through some of the tubes from the front to the back radiator that'll be back here. You can see they come out right there. And I also had to enlarge in these holes here so that that radiator that goes back there can actually be screwed in. You won't be able to, these will be covered by fans so you don't even see anything. So it should look really, really clean and everything should be good. Next step is to go ahead and start putting stuff back into the case now that we got all the holes done, and start wiring things up, and then maybe get ready to do some tube bending, and we'll see how that goes. That'll be in the next part of the video, which will be coming right after this. See you in a second. Alright, so welcome back to my organized chaos over here. I'm just giving you an update of where we're at right now. So far, I've gone ahead and installed the rear 360mm radiator, passed through the fans that are all mounted, all 16 holes lined up, surprisingly. So those go through the fans, through the metal of the case, and then into the front side of this radiator here. So this is completely mounted. I've also gotten the rubber tubing that I'm doing in the back where you can't see done. So this is all tubed up to the pass-through fittings that we'll take a look at on the other side in a second. Into the top of the radiator here. So water will come through one, go through the radiator, come back out, and go back to the front. I did have a bit of trouble putting it in. These cables here passed through a tiny hole in the top right over there, which made the radiator not sit completely flat. It was like kind of curved instead because the cables were in the way. So we kind of just had to squish those cables in, put a bit of pressure on it so that the screws would line up with the fans in the front, but it was not that hard. So far, I've also wired these cables up to the front, so let's take a look at the front here. Bear with me while I flip this around. So you can see the fans mounted there. The motherboard is also in. No radiators up top or on the bottom yet, though, even though you can see the holes. So you can see down here, the front USB is wired up, the front audio is wired up. This case only actually has like a single power switch cable for the front. So there's no reset switch or anything like that, or power LEDs you need to do. So, and you can see here, here's the 2 pass-through fittings that those 2 other tubes are connected to on the other side. So I just got to do the other side now. So that was a quick update, and I'll follow up on this video with where I am next. See you in a second. Alright, just another quick update here. So I've finished running pretty much all the cables that will be covered by the radiators here, because if I don't do this ahead of time, once I put the radiator to go right here, I won't be able to reach any of these. So you got the CPU powers there, we got some fan RGB cables, and just the fan power cables. I've already wired up this fan connector, which will go to the fan, will be right here. Even though the fan's not going to be there, I need to pass through the cable because I won't be able to get to this little corner here anymore once that radiator is in. And then in the back, you'll be able to see. Just bear with me again as I turn this over with one hand. So it's starting to be a mess of cables. No cable management yet. We have the 2 tubes all wired up, all tubed up, still there. Here, right now I just have the cables sitting out. I'm not going to do the power supply right away, and I also test fitted the cage that goes right here with the hard drive and solid state drives in there. So everything that fits, the tubes end up just sitting inside the cage, which is perfect. So next step is just going to be mounting the radiators. I'm going to mount the top radiator first, then I'll do the bottom radiator right after that. And then it's probably going to be graphic card time and maybe do some tubing tonight. So we'll see how it goes. I'll update you in a few seconds. Welcome to the last part of this video that I'll be recording. So now you can see that I've got almost all the parts in here. The graphic card is in, this radiator is now completely screwed in through the holes that we put at the bottom. I also put like a temporary fan filter, so you can see that's screwed into the bottom. So that looks really nice. The top rad is in, wired up. You can see up there the cables are going down. There's no power supply in there yet. I just have the cables popping out the back just to keep them organized. I don't want to plug anything in. And I also don't have the cage that goes in the back here installed. You can see my mess of cables is still there. Also, I don't have the 24-pin power routed through, because it's such an easy spot. I don't really need to do it right now. Then next part right now is actually going to be starting to do some tubing. So I'm going to start by doing probably the easy ones, which is just going to do like a single straight up tube here so I can match the height of this one. I also need to do another really short tube to go up so I can match the height of this guy. So I'll probably start with those two and see how it goes. Oh, I also have this fan lead for the fan that's going to go back here, just hanging there. No point putting that fan in there. That'll be one of the last things I'll do. I also have cable combs for these cables so I can clean those up so they all look straight. But right now they're just ran, just because I wasn't going to be able to easily run these cables through the grommets in this crevice here between the radiator. I can still do it actually, I tried, but it's just easier to have them already there, and I'll wire them up to the power supply in the back once I get there. So that's what she looks like right now. You have to keep in mind too that like there's pieces that go on top of this, so you won't see any of this like dirty stuff or this old hole from my previous build in this case. And so that'll be covered up. Same thing, obviously there's a piece that goes and blocks like this size. You won't be able to see any of that stuff back there. But I'm really liking it so far. I really love the back plate, just reflecting everything, which kind of goes with the theme of it. And all the fittings, like being silver, reflecting everything. I think it'll look really nice once it's all lit up with the RGB and just all working together to match. So I'll see you guys next time in the next video, which I'll be recording tomorrow. So look forward to it. Thank you.